Welcome to the People's Doctor. That's Doctor with a K. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Taylor, chiropractic physician and minister of God. This is the platform where we address, the finished work triangle. There are 3 tips to this triangle, and it will form the basis of all of our presentations. Number 1, health and wellness. Number 2, Christ-centered publications. And number 3, the Word of God. Our health supplement of the day is charcoal. Charcoal should be in everyone's medicine cabinet, that is, alternative medicine cabinet. Charcoal is activated in which hundreds and thousands of tiny little holes through steam pressure are placed in burned wood or the ashes of burned wood. And when this supplement is introduced into the body, rather than this substance being absorbed across the cell membrane into the cytoplasm of the cell, rather, it's not absorbed. Instead, its function is to adsorb. If you've taken an overdose of Tylenol, for example, if you have eaten too much food and you're having indigestion, if you're having GERD, gastric esophageal reflux disease or disorder, and a whole host, if you're having excessive passing of gas, which we call flatus, you can take charcoal tablets. There is nothing in the medical literature suggesting any toxic effects of taking even large quantities of activated charcoal. Now, not the charcoal briskets that we grill food over, that you should not grill food, particularly meat, but that's a whole nother subject. But activated charcoal adsorb the Tylenol that you've taken into your system that's going to harm your kidneys and harm your liver. Charcoal adsorbs. It connects due to hydrostatic pressure and the elements in your system, the excessive gas, the putrefaction that has gone on in your stomach or in your small intestines or in the large intestine, where we have a proliferation of these bacteria that act up on the foodstuffs that you've eaten, the waste there in your system. The charcoal adsorbs those elements, the scatol, the indole, and the other elements that are in your large intestine. There was a gentleman that stood before the French Academy of Science, and he drank a lethal dose of cobra venom. And then he followed it with a slurry of large volumes of charcoal. And the physician standing by monitored him for hours and even days. No measurable symptomatology, because he had taken volumes and volumes and volumes of activated charcoal. Now, this one you can purchase at Whole Foods, Health Foods store, and this one is by Nature's Way. There's others by Solar Ray and other companies, but get some charcoal and keep that in your medicine cabinet. But that's not my theme this day. That was our supplement of the day. Our theme for today is water. Dihydrogen oxide, I love water, and it tastes so good. The Word of God has much to say about water, or water. And here in the first book of the Bible, called Genesis, Genesis is the first 5 books of what is called in the Hebrew or Aramaic the Torah. It is the first 5 books in the Septuagint, the Pentateuch. Genesis meaning beginnings. In the word it says here, and we're going to verse 1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Not his dwelling place, but what we call the sky and the earth. Created the heaven and the earth was without form. This word form comes from a Hebrew word meaning abyss or blackness and no form, somewhat chaotic. But God does nothing in chaos, so it had order. But as Moses, the author of Genesis, looked up on in vision, looked up on this scene, he saw this globe, as it were, without form and void. And then it says, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The lovely Jesus said, I am the water of life, in John 4. But I want to talk about the physical liquid called water. Now, water can occur in several forms. It can be in a solid form. It can be in a gaseous form, which we call steam. In its solid form, it's ice or snow or sleet. And in its liquid form, it's nature's elixir, one of nature's elixirs. Air is one. We'll do a whole presentation, even a series on water and as well as air. But I love water, and it tastes so good. Water. I went to the internet, and I'd never heard of this site before, and so it's svalbardi.com. It's SV as in Victor, ALBARDI.com. And let's take a look at some of the benefits of water, this elixir. One is let's remove this here. One, it helps improve physical performance. What do we mean? When you're properly hydrated, when your tissues have sufficient volumes of this elixir in the body, it thins the blood, improves circulation to bodily tissue, particularly the brain. That 3-ounce, that 3-pound gray mass of matter with over its 100 billion brain cells. And even though it only weighs 3 pounds, it demands roughly 20% of all the oxygen and all of the blood of your being. We need water. It improves physical performance. We just finished the Olympics there in Paris, France, and you notice there were certain races, particularly your longer races like the 1500 meter, but really all of them, whether it's the 100 meter sprint, the 200 meter sprint, the 4x100 relay, the 4x400 relay, and so forth and so on. And then we move to the last event, as far as one that involves competition, to the marathon. And it's a 26-mile course. And along the way, what are the runners drinking? Good old water. Now I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm 105 and 80 pounds. I fluctuate between 180 and 185. And when I'm very disciplined, I like to drink at least 4 bottles of these. When you wake up in the morning, you want to flush your kidneys with this elixir. So when my feet first hit the floor, I like to flush my kidneys with a full bottle, a 16.9 ounce bottle of water. It thins the blood, it stimulates circulation, it also stimulates your appetite. And we do recommend that you not eat after 6 o'clock in the evening. More heart attacks and strokes occur in the cooler parts of the day, in the morning and then in the evening, typically because we're not active, particularly in the evening. After 4 o'clock, your body's rhythms begin to decline, your energy levels begin to subside, and the body's preparing itself for the next day, for sleep. And so we want to encourage you not to eat after 6 o'clock. Even if you're not on a weight loss plan, don't eat after 6 o'clock under most circumstances. Your body's preparing you to go to sleep, where it's rebuilding all of the major chemicals, the hormones and the antibodies, and all of the wonderful, a cascade of events that the human body makes for the next day's task. So water can improve physical performance, whether it's racing or your activities of daily living, just working in your home. It improves circulation, it improves physical performance. It also increases body temperature. Increases bodily energy. Now, I want to go back to improving physical performance. Physical performance from a medical point of view objectively measures whole body function related to mobility or function. I read a book called Ministry of Healing by Ellen G. White, and she points out that it is better to wear out than to rust out. In that book, she states that motion is the key of life. I remember the epic by Stevie Wonder back in the early to middle 70s. It was labeled Songs in the Key of Life. Well, I look at water as one of the keys of life. And just like music is a universal language, and just like mathematics is a universal language, water is a universal substance. I was just looking at some videos today on Sweden and all of the beautiful waterways in Sweden. And often, not Sweden, Finland, my bad, Finland. And all of the beautiful waterways. The lovely Jesus has just replenished the earth with water. It says, it takes into account, speaking of physical performance, not only muscle strength and power and endurance, but inputs from many other body organs and systems, such as bones. When you're properly hydrated, you're less likely to fracture a bone. Water also helps you to maintain balance, improving circulation to the middle ear apparatus, to the vestibular part of the brain, and to other parts of the brain that regulate bodily balance, hormonal balance, systemic balance, as well as various cardiovascular, that's the heart, and neurological aspects. Well, this is my initial presentation on this YouTube channel, or this platform, which will be aired over other platforms. And I'm your host, Dr. Taylor, and I would leave you with this thought. Get healthy and stay healthy. And let's finish the work.